Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing good. Yeah, it's literally like 20 minutes before I actually go to bed, and I don't usually record my videos at this time of the day. It's currently like what time is it now? Like 20 past 9, 20 past 9 CAT. So the reason why I even recorded this video late is because I actually wanted to finish qualifying my leads and importing them onto the CRM that I use, right? Before I actually record this video so that I can speak about it, because that's basically what I was busy with the whole day, right? So in yesterday's video, I did say that I was having a lead problem, right? So I was able to solve that problem. It actually took way longer than expected, you know, because I had to I had to use like free alternatives, because the alternative, I mean not the alternative, the software that I used to scrape leads, I didn't pay for it now because I am planning on using some of that money for my next campaign. So I had to be creative and find other ways as to like how am I going to source leads. So I found this other, what do you call this, extension. It's a Google Chrome extension. It's a pretty good one, even though it took me way longer to scrape the leads. It took me hours to like sort out the leads, qualify the leads and everything. It actually took me hours. And if I had to use the paid one that I usually use, it would have taken me a couple of minutes, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, I was able to get the leads. I qualified the leads, and yeah, everything is basically set and ready for my up and coming campaign, the very last campaign of this quarter, right? So I will be running that campaign from Monday, this coming Monday, until Thursday, right? So it'll be a 4-day campaign, and I was able to source about 1,800 leads, somewhere about there. So obviously I'm gonna segment those leads between those 4 days, right? And yeah, and just hope for the best. So I'll keep you guys updated on the campaign, how it goes and everything. What I actually wanted to talk about, the most important thing, right, is qualifying your leads, right? So before, the mistake that I used to make, right, is that I just used to send messages to not just random people, right? But let's say I'd pick a specific niche, right? And I just send my offer to all those people in that niche. That was the mistake that I was making when I was starting out my outreach. And the more that I actually learned, I realized that no, that's not the way to go about it. And I actually started realizing this after the appointments that I had back in January. So I learned this from those appointments, and there was a time when I just decided that okay, I'm going to review all the appointments that I've had so far and write down the key takeaways, the people that could actually afford the service, what do they have in common and all that. And from that day onwards, I just told myself that I'm gonna start targeting the people that could afford my service, not the people who didn't have a budget for it and had excuses and all that. So ever since I made a review on that campaign, right, I've basically been using the same qualification process, criteria, if you want to say, so everyone has to have their own qualifying criteria, and I have my own that I use specifically, and what I've learned the most, right, is that you need to sell your services to proven buyers, and it actually makes a whole lot of sense. So instead of targeting people who are not currently marketing or who have never marketed like before, I only target businesses who are currently doing some kind of marketing. They have some kind of marketing strategy, because or they've done it in the past, because the problem is, if you're trying to sell a service to someone who's never tried it out before, let's say a business, right? And I sell a marketing service, and they've never marketed ever before, and that business has been, they've been in business for about 10 years now. Basically, you're not just going to be making one sale to that person, you're going to be making two sales. The first sale is that you have to try and convince that person why they have to invest in marketing in the first place. That's the first sale that you have to make. And the second sale that you're going to make is, why do they have to use your marketing services specifically? So at the end of the day, you're basically making two sales, not just one. And that's what I've learned from the books that I've read, from my own experiences and stuff like that, that it makes sense to sell your service to proven buyers. And like, I thought of a few examples. It's like trying to sell pork, to someone who's Muslim, and they don't eat pork. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You have to, even if you could try to tell them the benefits of pork and everything, you're not gonna sell to them. And for example, let's say you have a business and you're selling shoes. It actually makes sense to put yourself in front of people who have bought shoes in the past, unlike people who are barefoot. Because if you're going to be selling to someone who's barefoot, you have to tell them why do they need shoes in the first place. Then you have to tell them why they must buy your shoes specifically. Unlike if you're selling to someone who has bought shoes before in the past, they might need shoes for a different occasion. They've proven that they usually buy shoes. They might need new shoes for wedding, they might need hiking shoes, they might need gym shoes, like whatever it may be. It just makes a whole lot of sense when you're selling your service to someone who's a proven buyer of whatever service or product that you're selling. It just makes a whole lot of sense. And as I was qualifying my leads today, and it just makes a whole lot of sense. And that's why it also took me like so long to qualify my leads, because the leads that I had initially, they weren't enough for the number that I had planned for my outreach campaign. So I had to go and get more leads and qualify them, more leads and qualify them, until I got to a point where I was satisfied and be like, okay, for this up and coming campaign, I'm fine with reaching out to this amount of people, because at the start of it, in my mind, I was like 2,000 prospects would be enough, like qualified leads, that would be enough. And qualified, what I also mean is, like, let's say for example, you're doing like an SMS campaign, or you're doing cold calling, right? You have to verify what do you call this? Their phone numbers too. You have to verify them. Otherwise, if let's say you bought a phone number and you're just calling every single number that you got from whatever web scraper or whatever lead sourcing tool that you're using, right? That's going to give your number a bad reputation, because you're going to, let's say an SMS campaign, for example. So you sending SMSs to numbers that are landline, to invalid numbers, that's going to damage the reputation of your phone number, So that also comes into place into like qualifying your leads and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all I wanted to speak about today. And today's actually day, what day is it? The day is gonna be somewhere here. I actually forgot what day it is, because things are so hectic today. It was just so busy. I was just working the whole day, but I think it's day 61 if I'm not mistaken. So come next week Monday is like 2 weeks left of the challenge, and yeah, let's see how it goes. I'll see you guys again on Monday. All right, peace.